In regards to President-elect Trump's mass deportation plans, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis saying states and localities should be required not just to refrain from sabotaging federal immigration enforcement, but to assist with it as a condition of receiving federal funding.
Joining us now, Cammack is a Florida congresswoman. Welcome back to National Report. So what do you think about it? Governor DeSantis is in the news, by the way, for a number of things. We'll get to that DOD possibility in just a bit. But first, if you could comment on his stance to dealing with the illegal immigrant crisis in our nation and his willingness to support the incoming Trump administration.
Well, if there's one thing I know about Governor Ron DeSantis, it's that he is a constitutional conservative. And under Title 8, U.S. Code 1373, the federal government has every right to withhold federal funds from any locality or state that harbors illegals. This is something that has been on the books since 1996. This is nothing new. President Trump, in his first term, he issued an executive order reaffirming this U.S. code, this 1373. And so being the constitutional conservative that he is, Governor DeSantis is just following the law. Let's keep in mind that these people, these illegals, they have broken the law. They are in the country illegally. And we have seen rising crime, murder, sexual assaults, and a litany of other different crimes that have been committed as a result of the Biden open border crisis. If these sanctuary cities want to play stupid games, they're going to win a stupid prize. And in the case of California or New York, which receives over $100 billion with a B dollars every single year in federal funding, they will not only lose that funding, but they'll end up losing re-election for their races and those titles that they covet so much, because the American people are not dumb. Their constituents know what's at stake. And at the end of the day, we're a nation of law and order, so it's time to act like it.
And speaking of the governor, before we move on to other state ideas here, or other state questions, the Wall Street Journal reporting that Governor DeSantis is, or rather President-elect Trump is considering Governor DeSantis to be the head of the Department of Defense. What's your reaction to that, should this be true?
Now, maybe it's a little selfish of me, but I would love to keep Governor DeSantis as governor. He has done incredible, remarkable things for the Sunshine State, and particularly when it comes to disaster relief. My district has seen 3 major storms in 14 months, and he has been by our side the entire time. So to lose that type of leadership would be devastating. But I know that he is destined for bigger things. He would do a remarkable job. He served his country honorably, and he would do a phenomenal job as Secretary of Defense, no question.
Yeah. Just wanted to point out your location. Of course, we've got members of Congress back on Capitol Hill. This follows the Thanksgiving holiday here. But there was some news over Thanksgiving recently that President Biden had pardoned his son, Hunter. Just wanted to get your sense of maybe what's going on as Republicans discuss this news, and what your take is on the pardon of Hunter Biden.
You're right. We are back here on Capitol Hill, and there's a lot of activity happening. In the conversations that I've had in the last 24, 48 hours with colleagues, I've had a general sense from people that he is a father. But my response to that has been, that's not love. This is enabling. He has gone from commander-in-chief, one of the weakest we've ever had, to a trafficker-in-chief through his open border policies, to a liar-in-chief, how he has said that no one is above the law, which of course we know is not true. His entire administration has been clouded in secrecy and a lack of transparency, certainly no accountability. When you love someone, you want them to be able to help themselves. And this unconditional pardon for crimes that he may or may not have committed, that is not love. That is not doing anything but enabling him to actually continue leading a life of debauchery. And of course, we know, because the Hunter Biden laptop is real, not Russian disinformation, we know what he is capable of. So not only is it a slap in the face to every time that someone has stood up and said he's going to be someone who's he's above board and all about the law. It's a lie. He said he would not pardon his son, and he turned around and he did. It is a slap in the face to every single person, and quite the shame.
Yeah, it's a big blowback for Democrats as well. They can no longer stand on that platform of no one is
Absolutely.
above the law. Indeed, we are seeing something
exactly
of note. Florida Congresswoman Cammack, live from the Capitol. We appreciate that. Thank you so much.